In a cozy little village, there was a lion cub named Tiny Leo. He wasn't very big or very strong yet, but he was full of curiosity and a sense of adventure. One sunny morning, as he wandered near the edge of the forest, Tiny Leo met a bright and beautiful peacock named Pavo. Pavo had shimmering feathers in shades of blue, green, and gold, and he loved sharing stories from places he had visited. One day, as they sat by a sparkling stream, Pavo told Leo about a place far, far away called the Great Wall. He described it as a magnificent stone wall that stretched across hills, rivers, and valleys, so long it seemed to touch the sky. Leo's eyes grew wide with wonder as he listened to Pavo. He could almost see the towering wall stretching before him. Tiny Leo's heart filled with excitement. He turned to Pavo and said, "I want to see the Great Wall for myself." Pavo chuckled softly and said, "It is a long and tiring journey, Tiny Leo, but if you truly wish to go, I will join you." Pavo knew that the journey would be challenging, but he admired Leo's spirit. With a flap of his wings, Pavo spread his dazzling tail feathers, which shimmered like jewels in the sunlight. Together, they set off toward the Great Wall. Their journey was filled with wonder. They walked through lush forests, crossed sparkling rivers, and climbed steep hills. Along the way, they met friendly animals who shared stories and guided them through unknown paths. At night, they slept under a blanket of stars. Pavo would tell Leo stories of distant lands, and Leo would fall asleep dreaming of the incredible adventures awaiting him. Days turned into weeks as they traveled. Sometimes the path was smooth, but other times it was steep and rocky. Tiny Leo grew tired, his paws ached, and sometimes he felt like giving up. But Pavo would always encourage him. "Just a little farther, Tiny Leo. You are stronger than you know." With every step, Leo felt himself growing braver and stronger. He began to realize that his strength didn't just come from his size, but from his courage and determination. One afternoon, as they climbed yet another hill, Pavo suddenly stopped and spread his wings wide. "Look, Tiny Leo," he said. Leo looked up and gasped. There, stretching out before him, was the Great Wall. It was more incredible than he had ever imagined. The wall seemed to go on forever, winding across mountains and valleys, touching the clouds and disappearing into the horizon. With renewed energy, Tiny Leo raced up to the wall, his paws skimming over the ancient stones. He placed one paw on the wall and felt its strength. It had stood there for centuries, strong and steadfast, weathering storms and standing tall through the ages. Leo looked at Pavo, his eyes shining with amazement. Pavo smiled and said, "The Great Wall is a reminder, Tiny Leo, that with patience and determination, we can overcome any obstacle." They spent the rest of the day exploring the wall. Leo ran along its length, feeling the cool stone beneath his paws. They climbed to the highest point they could find and looked out over the landscape below. Tiny Leo felt like he was on top of the world. He realized that he had come so far, not just in distance, but in courage and strength. The journey had been difficult, but every challenge had taught him something valuable. As the sun began to set, casting a golden glow over the wall, Pavo and Leo found a cozy spot to rest. Pavo looked at Leo and said, "Our journey to the Great Wall has been long, but it has shown us many things. It taught us that courage is not the absence of fear, but the strength to keep going even when things seem hard. It taught us that true strength comes not from how big we are, but from our spirit and determination. And most importantly, it taught us that even the greatest walls are built one stone at a time, just like we achieve our dreams one step at a time." Tiny Leo nodded thoughtfully. He understood now that every step he had taken, every hill he had climbed, had brought him closer to his goal. And though he was still small, he felt big on the inside, where it mattered most. As the stars began to twinkle in the sky, Tiny Leo lay beside Pavo, his heart full of gratitude. He had seen the Great Wall, but he had also discovered the strength within himself. He had learned that he could achieve anything if he believed in himself and kept moving forward, no matter how hard the journey seemed. With that comforting thought, Tiny Leo closed his eyes and drifted into a peaceful sleep. His dreams were filled with new adventures, each one more exciting than the last. And beside him, Pavo watched over his brave little friend, proud of the lion cub who had found his strength on their Great Wall adventure.